CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you are with us on this Thursday. Anishinaabe police have charged 2 people with drug trafficking and other offenses in Constance Lake First Nation northwest of Hearst. $71,000 in crystal meth and oxycodone were seized Tuesday at a residence. A warrant was executed as part of an ongoing drug trafficking investigation. Police seized the drugs along with cash, ammunition, and trafficking paraphernalia. A 30-year-old woman and a 75-year-old man have been charged. Moving now to active weather crossing through our region. What kind of precipitation are we looking at? For more details, we go to CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Tony, a little bit of everything. According to Environment Canada, for the next couple of days, we'll get a bit of a break with some sunshine on Saturday and then back to the sleet. So flurries, showers, combination, or either sometimes periods of rain or just some snow flurries. Let's have a look at our systems map, courtesy of CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. That system approaching the northeast, and with it lots of snow and some rain, but no appreciable amounts right now to actually report. So we'll have some details on the 5-day forecast coming up.
Thanks, Rick. Residents in North Bay were given an update last night on PFAS. Well, they're known as man-made substances, known as forever chemicals, that were discovered nearly a decade ago. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
The first phase of PFAS remediation work is complete. That from officials who say a little over 26,000 tons of contaminated soil was removed at the Jack Garland Airport.
Now we're moving on to our next phase.
The chemicals entered the property from firefighting foam used during training in the mid-1970s to the late 1990s. The foam seeped into the soil, moving through groundwater into Lees Creek. That waterway is connected to Trout Lake, the source of North Bay's drinking water supply.
We're going to implement some groundwater remediation, and there will be several other phases, I suspect, and this could be going on for years.
How much are you going to get, and what's the difference between getting 90% versus 70%? Is that a dollar difference, or is it a technical obstacle?
The city is preparing to conduct a pilot study for surface water remediation for stormwater management just south of the airport.
We take the surface water as it comes down out of the storm ditches and then flow it through the absorptive media and then release it back into the stormwater pond. It is treating and removing the PFAS, similar to like a Brita filter.
The health unit says it has been conducting studies into North Bay's kidney cancer rate compared to the Ontario population and 2 other Northern Ontario cities.
There was one 5-year period in which the city of North Bay did have higher kidney cancer rates.
City officials are asking for an additional $107 million from the federal government for ongoing remediation and to design and engineer the water treatment plant so that it can treat PFAS.
And that would go a long way to addressing impacts on the population in the future.
A proposed class action lawsuit is seeking $105 million in damage and punitive damage for property owners with private residential drinking water wells within a 3-kilometer radius of 22 Wing Canadian Forces Base. A long-standing drinking water advisory for Lees Creek remains in place. There's also an advisory for eating fish from the creek in place too. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The province has launched a Road Safety Initiatives Fund. In a release, the province says the fund supports proven traffic calming measures in school and community safety zones while keeping costs down for drivers. The government invested $210 million through the initiative, and the one-time funding is provided to municipalities that use speed cameras and applied for the Road Safety Initiatives Fund. The city of Greater Sudbury is one of the cities that applied and received just over $500,000.
I would say this money is looking to target permanent solutions and locations where speed cameras were temporary measures until we could get to the permanent solutions. So what this funding will help us as a municipality do is accelerate the work we were anticipating doing over the years that were going to come using the revenues from automated speed enforcement.
Rocca says that the city expects the funding to come soon. He adds the city will build a work plan and present it to council in 2026 on recommendations for the funding. A Sudbury family is hoping to raise money for Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto after their son needed skull surgery. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Small heads, big hearts. It's the slogan for these shirts, which will see 100% of the proceeds going to the craniofacial program at Sick Kids.
We designed a little bunny riding on a motorcycle to kind of tell Harvey's journey, and it was a little nod in the design to show actually Harvey had head bandages that they made in rabbit ears.
Smith's son Harvey was diagnosed with sagittal craniosynostosis at 4.5 months old and was only given 1 week's notice to get the surgery done at Sick Kids.
We remove a strip of bone where the suture should be. It's like making a brand new suture. And the success of this technique relies on using a helmet to help shape the head as the head grows afterwards. One of the challenges in Ontario is the ADP doesn't cover this helmet.
Harvey needed 3 helmets during his 6 months of therapy post-surgery, and Smith says thankfully they were able to access funding through the craniofacial program to cover the cost. She adds that the program is 100% funded by donations.
We'd like to raise enough money to fund at least 1 helmet, so that's the $2,550 mark. So we're going to go as long as we can. We're hoping to submit in the early new year our donation. So we've had about 40 orders on our website.
Meantime, Dr. Forrest says it's critical that children receive the surgery as young as possible.
Unfortunately, sometimes we see the situation where the doctor says, oh, don't worry, it'll get better. And then it doesn't, and then they refer, and by then it's not too late to have surgery, but the operation is a much bigger operation.
Forrest says if you look at the province of Ontario, around 150,000 babies are born every year, and that Sick Kids sees on average 80 to 90 cases like this per year. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. Also ahead, this is Transgender Day of Remembrance. Next, a story about advocates who've worked to ensure trans voices are heard.
Ready to run with the pack? The Sudbury Wolves take on the Sarnia Sting Friday, December the 5th, and you could be in the stands. We're giving away a 4-pack of tickets to cheer on your favorite team. So, what are you waiting for? Enter now at CTVNorthernOntario.ca and get ready to howl. Hockey night in Sudbury, always a great time. Forecast radar, talk about a change in weather. It's here. Showers, flurries, sometimes more rain than snow, and sometimes more snow than rain. Let's check out the forecast radar. That system moving in and right through until, well, Friday morning, and then we get a bit of a break in the action come Saturday, maybe some sun and cloud. We'll check out the numbers here momentarily. But again, we've got to deal with some precipitation, perhaps in greater Sudbury Nickel Belt. We've got a 40% chance of sleet for tomorrow. It actually begins later on this evening. High of 3 for tomorrow, -1, sunshine. There's your break. Sunday, chance of sleet at 40%, high of 3, more sunny skies on Monday at 3, and the chance of sleet 60% come Tuesday. In Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of sleet for a couple of days at 40 and 30%. Your highs 4 and 3. Chance of showers as things warm up to 7 on Sunday. 7 degrees again on Monday. Should be a beautiful day in the Sault and Algoma. Then we return back to the chance of sleet at 60% come Tuesday and a high of only 4. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, 60% chance of flurries for tomorrow, high of 0, -3 Saturday, some sun and cloud. Sunday, we've got the chance of flurries at 60%, a high of 2. 3 degrees on Monday, some sun and cloud, and the chance of flurries again at 1. So unusual warmer temperatures for the month of November. We're past the midway mark, so I guess in some cases we're actually quite fortunate that it's not a lot colder with a lot more snow. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of sleet tomorrow at 4 degrees. -2 Saturday, some sun and cloud, chance of sleet again at 40%. 2 degrees the high Sunday. Monday, some sun and cloud at 2, and the chance of flurries at 40% come Tuesday, again 2 degrees. And a look now at North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of sleet tomorrow, 30%, your high of 4. -1 Saturday, sunshine. Chance of sleet again on Sunday at 3. 2 degrees Monday with sunny skies. And Tuesday, chance of sleet, 60%, 2 degrees. So on again, off again weather, Tony. But again, it's not terribly cold with not a lot of precipitation in the form of snow or rain. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. Today marks Transgender Day of Remembrance, honoring transgender persons lost to violence. This week, we're featuring personal stories of longtime advocates who've worked to ensure trans voices are heard. CTV's Angela Gemmell has the story and a warning. This story deals with suicide.
Rita O'Link spent years struggling with thoughts she was the wrong gender. It wasn't until she was in her 50s she found relief. A revelation, she says, came after a desperate prayer.
You either take this away from me by the time I go to bed tonight, or show me there's something good in it. Well, I think we can see how God answered that prayer.
And for the last 20 years, she says she's been living as her true self, a woman. Early in her transition journey, she helped create TG Inner Selves, a peer support group for transgender persons across the Northeast, advocating for and supporting others. But resources were limited at that time.
It started very small. Next to nobody coming at first. Word of mouth needed to spread, and also trust needed to grow. There was no support, so we became the support.
Her struggle wasn't just one of identity or social pressure. As a spiritual person, she lacked a safe space to practice her faith. After being shut out by her previous congregation, she found a church family at Grace United Church. For the past 14 years, it's been her spiritual safe space.
They welcomed me in. I could attend either presenting as the male I used to present as, or come fully as myself with no restrictions. They were interested in my character and my integrity, not my presentation.
Rita says that spirituality has helped her when she's faced thoughts of suicide. She knows she has a greater purpose and hope. But Rita thinks a lot about those in the transgender community who've died by suicide.
What drove them to that? Society. All that discrimination, that oppression, that judgment. Can't see a path forward. Life is so hard to live. We just can't do it anymore.
November 20th is Transgender Day of Remembrance, a time to honor transgender persons who've been murdered, died under suspicious circumstances, or by suicide. Rita will be thinking about one friend in particular.
Her name is Melissa. Not just was, is. Her spirit lives on. A vibrant, beautiful, fun person. She just couldn't take the discrimination anymore.
Rita sees discrimination and oppression growing, saying it's seeping into Canada from across the border.
What keeps me going is there's one other person out there that needs someone to stand up for them. I've been given the gift of being able to do that. It's a privilege. I want one other person to understand how wonderful they really are and to keep them away from becoming a statistic in the Transgender Day of Remembrance.
To those struggling, Rita reminds them,
you are real. You are valid. The only way you can become a complete, whole person is to live who you truly are.
Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
And a vigil is planned for 6:30 this evening at the main branch of the Greater Sudbury Library to mark Transgender Day of Remembrance. The land is available. Coming up on CTV News at 5. Habitat for Humanity and Lockerbie Legion in Sudbury are hoping to get a home built for a veteran. Area Hospital has just introduced a new piece of equipment to offer non-invasive pain treatment. It's the first hospital in the world to use this technology. The Neuralizer XR high-intensity focused ultrasound has been in action for about 2 months, treating 11 patients with severe lower back pain related to spinal arthritis. The $76,000 machine is operated by locum doctors Michael Gofeld and Kevin Smith. They say the new technology has less room for error because it eliminates the risk of infection from needles and bleeding.
But when it works, the pain relief is instantaneous, right? And it may last somewhere between 6 months to 3 years. Okay? With radio frequencies, there is some period that people still feel pain, sometimes even more pain, just because the needles were inserted.
Dr. Gofeld adds that they are working to be able to use this technology for other arthritis-based pains. They're expecting to be allowed to work on knees in as little as 6 months. Habitat for Humanity is teaming up with the Lockerbie Legion in Sudbury to raise money to build a home for a veteran. The goal is to raise just over $450,000 with the help of the community. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
For Habitat for Humanity. The Lockerbie Legion presents checks totaling over $10,000 towards the Habitat for Humanity Gateway North Veteran Project. The city sold land to the nonprofit organization for $5, where the house for a veteran will be built.
This is to develop a home ownership opportunity through the Habitat mortgage model of zero down payment, zero interest, so that we can offer a home for a veteran or veteran family in Sudbury with donated land from the city of Sudbury in support of the Lockerbie Legion to get a home built for a veteran, a well-deserving veteran.
And that's our primary goal, is to find those members of our community who have a desire or a want to support that veterans community, because we know you don't have to go too far to find out someone who has an aunt, uncle, brother, sister, grandmother, grandfather who fought or served in the military. So there's that linkage in Canada. It's deep-rooted in our history.
The land is on Melvin Street in the Donovan, and an affordable, accessible single-family home will be constructed. There will be a selection process for the veteran who will receive the home.
The selection process is a Habitat standard. It's a third-party removed, non-biased process that has a veteran family or individual that will qualify for the Habitat mortgage. There's a credit process, there's a whole background check and very obvious processes that are with any mortgage.
Officials with Habitat for Humanity say the initiative, Building Futures in Sudbury, represents the nonprofit's ongoing commitment to serving those who serve others. Ellen Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
And donations can be made online at habitatgatewaynorth.com, dropped off at the Restore on Armstrong Street or the Lockerbie Legion. Artificial Intelligence. Collège Boreal is the first Francophone post-secondary institution to join a new consortium. We'll tell you more on First at 5. Post-secondary institution in our broadcast region is joining the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute's AI Workforce Readiness Program. That's a mouthful. And to tell us more, Edouard Radiyarson of Collège Boreal now joins us from Toronto. Hi there, Edouard.
Oh, hi there, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Explain how this partnership will work for our viewers.
Yeah, so Collège Boreal, we've joined a national consortium of 25 post-secondary institutions. And what's really interesting here is that it's funded by a pretty large grant that reaches 125,000 students across Canada. What makes it important is that it's not just for computer science students. The idea is to integrate AI literacy across all of our programs, like electrical trades, nursing, and business administration. Our role is to adapt these resources that they've created for the Franco-Ontarian context, and to deploy them across our 8 campuses from Hearst to Windsor.
That's groundbreaking when you really think about it. And isn't Boreal the first Francophone post-secondary institution to jump on board?
Absolutely. So we're super honored to be the first one. I mean, for 30 years, Boreal has really been preparing the Franco-Ontarian workforce, and AI is the next frontier of that. So the AI revolution is happening largely in English, largely in major cities. But with our 8 campuses across Ontario, Hearst, Kapuskasing, Timmins, some of the ones I mentioned earlier, we're really ensuring that the Franco-Ontarian communities aren't left behind. And from just like a productivity gain perspective, the studies in Alberta are saying that there's $27 billion in productivity gains from AI adoption. And we want our communities participating in these gains, not just watching them pass by. We want our graduates to lead the transformation.
Edward, when will students be able to access this AI education?
So it's pretty soon. It's done in phases. So we're currently doing the first phase right now. So as soon as that's done, basically we're training the trainers. So we're training the professors and the teachers to be able to pass it on to the students as early as September 2027.
I also read somewhere as part of the curriculum, there's ethics being taught around artificial intelligence. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, it's a foundational AI literacy is what we're teaching. We're trying to understand, what AI can and can't do. That's really important because by understanding that, you can really get into the ethical considerations on when to use AI versus when to use your human judgment. So, we're going to go discipline by discipline. And for example, nursing students, we're going to help them navigate AI-powered patient records. Understanding automatic alerts for risk falls, for example, would be a good scenario.
Edouard Ratiarson joined us from Toronto, and to see more of our Tech Talk series, don't forget, head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. Our first community close-up is from North Bay. 2 new exhibitions are underway at the WKP Kennedy Gallery at the Capitol Centre. In Gallery 1, Grave dans le Rivage is by Marguerite Morin. It depicts landscapes, and the other is Deck the Walls, Holiday Art Sale in Gallery 2. There are more than 200 local pieces on display. And check out this picture sent in to us by Megan Sauvé of Cobalt. She spotted a lynx up in a tree. Thanks so much for this, Megan. And some incredible video was sent to us by Diane Tremblay of Field, northwest of Sturgeon Falls. She spotted otters sliding on the ice and also swimming in the cold water. First one started, and then they all joined in on the fun. Thanks so much for sending this to us, Diane. And folks, there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.